Howdy. How do you make the most out of your marketing automation? We're going to learn that today on Good Morning Marketers. Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Marketers. My name is Bruce Williams, Senior Director of Development Department here at ThunderTech.
And I'm Kyle Coughlin, Marketing Automation Specialist.
All right. And here, today we're going to be talking about how to get the most out of your marketing automation platform or campaign. And this episode is really for those marketers out there today that have started it or either in the infancy stage of their market automation campaign and platform adoption, implementation, or maybe 1 or 2 years in and they want to get better. They want to take it to the next level. So Kyle, what do you tell or where do you start with clients that want to get better?
So a number of clients that we work with already had a marketing automation platform in place and they weren't really making the most of it, which is why we're putting this video together. And where we start with them is talking about reverse engineering a lot of the processes. You know, most folks are thinking about, all right, here's what I want to get to, but I don't know how to get there. So we try to help them map out that process of establishing that goal and then working backwards so that all the pieces are in place. So it's like our mothers always told us when we were younger, thinking before we act. Let's put together that plan, put together that campaign, as you mentioned, and then start executing some of those tactical pieces later. So we can think about it, give you an example where, let's say that my goal is to convert more leads. We're really looking to generate leads through our website. So if that's our goal, and then we're going to work backwards from there. So we're going to need some content, some sort of offer, if you will.
Okay.
And that'll be living on the other side of a form, on a landing page. So we need to be putting some of those pieces together. Then we can be thinking about how are we going to get folks to that content offer? How are we going to promote it? Are we going to have blog posts? Are we going to link to it from specific pages on the website? Are we going to talk about it on social? Or heck, are we even going to be getting to some advertising about it, some digital display or social media advertising or an email campaign? So if we figure out how we're going to promote that, and then we can be tracking all these things through an automation platform, so we're learning about what we're doing, if it's working, if it's not working, things of that nature.
Okay, that sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
So what kind of homework, right? Yeah. So it doesn't. It's probably not as overwhelming as it sounds.
That's exactly.
So what is the homework that you give clients?
So it all comes down to mapping out the process. So we love to use whiteboards. I'm always a huge proponent of putting everything out, mapping it out. So we start with our big goal up here at the top, and then we can map it all out. So we need to have specific pieces put together so that we are putting together that full, as we call it, that conversion path.
Yeah. Great, because we in earlier episodes we talked a lot about connecting the dots, and I think you're insinuating that there's a simple way to go about this.
These are the dots that we're trying to connect, and by mapping it out, you take the complicated nature out of it. Think about it from, all right, I want to go point D is where I want to get to, but how do I get there from point C, and how do I get there from point B, and what is that starting point at point A? Okay. Make it simple.
Okay, you're stronger at the alphabet than I am, but. So as far as data and information, what do you say they went through another implementation from another agency or did it themselves? What data do we have them focus on when we get involved?
Yeah, so we go through a nice audit of a platform. So we're looking at what your conversion numbers are, your email click-through rate, things of that nature. So looking more at hard metrics and if we can tie anything that has been done to any tangible revenue that was produced from it so that we can use that data to then learn about what you've been doing so we can help improve upon that.
Great. Data and revenue.
Yes. Analytics.
That's strong.
Yes.
So if you have any other questions about this, please reach out, contact us, or go to thundertech.com for more information.